We have been able to successfully run the gauntlet of inventory, from creating items, from ordering those items with purchase orders, receiving the items, and managing the inventory. The last thing that we need to learn how to do is how to look at reports, so we know what we have and what its value is. This can be accessed from the Reports and Forms menu or from the Reports button on the center. I'm going to go ahead and click on the button, and that's going to open a somewhat overwhelming box that has all of our reports listed. Now I know there's a lot of things here, but the good news is you can always double click on this. This is just opening things. You can't really hurt anything by viewing a report. I'm going to go over just a few of these. For example, at the very top we have something called the Assemblies Adjustment Journal. This is actually going to show me how my general journal or my general ledger was adjusted when I made assemblies. If you remember, when we took those items out of regular inventory and put them into an assembly, we had to do some adjustments. Let's take a look and see what this shows us. I'll give it a double click to open, and I get to see a fairly simple report because of course we only had one build of one assembly. It tells us the GL accounts that were affected, 12,000, 77,500, and 12,000 again. Then it gives us the reference number and a line description. So this is all for making the deluxe facial package. We debited an account first of $40.65, and that was due to a build where we assembled 5 of these items. Then if we move down to the next lines, we can see that likewise we had a $40.65 credit. Here's that double entry bookkeeping all over again. We have to debit one account when we credit the next. It also was part of the same build when we built 5 of them. It tells us that our total was $40.65 in debits as well as in credits. Guess what? Those balance out. Are you surprised? Well, you shouldn't be, because all of this double entry bookkeeping is supposed to balance. So this is a great way to show and even print or email to somebody what happened with the GL account by doing assemblies, removing the individual items and creating an assembled item instead. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this one and see what else we can find in our reports window. I can actually see a list of assembled items, the components that we used, a cost of goods sold journal, and a lot of different other things that we have here. They really are very interesting. But let me go ahead and move down to one that will probably be of interest to you or the business owner, and that's the Inventory Valuation Report. Let me go ahead and open that one. And of course we don't have a lot of inventory in place yet, but this is giving me my total values. It can tell me that I have currently deluxe facial packages that I've built that are using the first in, first out costing method. I currently have 5 on hand, and they're worth $40.65. It also tells me in the far right column that this particular item, the deluxe facial package, makes up 35.71% of my total inventory value. That can be really a useful number when you have a lot of products and you're trying to see if you're keeping too much or too little of a particular item. We can then come down and we can see all of our different features as well. We have an herbal facial scrub, and remember we see this one in here twice because we still need to fix that item. We can do that at any time as long as it hasn't been used, and this first one is the one that hasn't been used. That's why we see that there's no value and no percent. This might be a report where we can see what is currently inactive or not being used. The bottom line, though, gives us our herbal facial scrub that has been ordered. We get to see how many we have on hand, the value, and the percentage as well. Not surprisingly, at the very bottom, we get a grand total. $113.82 is how much it has cost us to put these items. This is not the sales value. And then, of course, hopefully, our numbers come up to 100%. Let's go ahead and close this one down as well. I really recommend that you take some time to look through the list, double click on stuff, open it up, see what's there, because the reports are really a powerful thing. Anytime you have a database, which is what an accounting program is, you can be overwhelmed with the details. But sometimes you need to step back and say, what does it all mean? Many of these reports will actually be doing the math that's going on behind the scenes and show it to you in a usable way. I like to term that as data versus information. Peachtree currently holds a lot of data, but the reports are giving us information that we can use. For example, my CFO or my president would probably be interested in seeing what the value of my inventory is, but they're probably not that interested in seeing how much of each individual item we have by going out and counting it on the shelf and getting out a calculator. You get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and close this screen down and take us back to our main screen. And just remind you that the reports are the end result of having a detailed and accurate inventory. Businesses sometimes try to take shortcuts and be very generic and then reuse things instead of keeping accurate track. You have to trust me when I tell you that putting time into setting up your inventory correctly, as well as your services, will pay off in the end. Because by being detailed, you will be able to learn about your business. Not just how much have I sold, but am I making more money from certain departments or certain types of products? Or am I spending too much money there? I think you get the idea, and inventory really is a critical part for every business, so be sure to take the time you need to do it right.